Okay, this is my second attempt to go live. I was told that the first time that there was just a loud buzzing noise and that you couldn't actually hear me. So if somebody could let me know if you can hear me so I can just continue with this live. So I'll just talk about it until somebody lets me know that they can't hear me. So Jim, hey, can you tell me if you can hear me? Because I went live just a few minutes ago and everybody told me that there was no sound, that there was just a live buzzing noise. Hey, Michelle. Hey, okay, good. So you can hear me. Yay, hi, Denise. I'm in your neighborhood. Mwah, 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 mwah. I miss you. Come home already. Okay, good. Jim, thank you. Okay, good. So I am going to walk the talk. So I am in Chelsea, walking in Manhattan. The name of my show is Walking the Talk. I'm just reading the comments. Good, great. Thank you all. So the name of my show is Walking the Talk because of that old adage that if you're going to talk the talk, you better walk the walk. And that's exactly what I do, and that's exactly how I healed my body from some pretty devastating and crippling illness. Definitely still in that process, but my gosh, one of the reasons I wanted to do the show today was because I've just seen so much negative stuff on social media. I'm pretty new to social media, and I joined some groups like Lyme's awareness groups and chronic illness groups, and there's just so much negative stuff going on in there. And I wanted to provide some value, and I wanted to provide some inspiration and motivation. One of which is like 6 months ago, I couldn't walk a single block. And that was devastating to me. I was in so much pain, and I was just so shocked that that would occur that I couldn't walk one city block without really having a hard time with my body. And today I have walked 46 blocks so far, and I don't even feel it, other than I think I have a blister on one of my toes. Okay, so if you're new to me, I just want to give you a real quick background. So I am a certified nutritional consultant, and I've been doing that for 16 years. And I owned my own nutritional clinic called Nutritional Wellness Center of Ithaca in upstate New York, in Ithaca, New York. And the fabulous Sophie Alexander owns that now. So if you're in upstate New York and you're in need of a holistic practitioner who's amazing, please go see her. And so I had some mysterious, invisible, chronic illness for about 36 years of my life. And that is what prompted me to become a nutritional consultant. And I wanted to solve my own health problems, and still do. And then loved it so much that I started a whole career doing it and loved helping people. And I've been able to help thousands of people at this point. So I figured some stuff out. And, it makes me uniquely qualified because, one, I am a professional and I do this as a career. Hey, Katie. Hey, Alex. And I've seen thousands of cases, which means that I have a lot of clinical experience with helping people heal their bodies. But then I personally have been through some crazy stuff. So I have personal experience healing a body. And so back to what I was saying, that I've been reading so much negative stuff in these groups that I joined. And one of the things that's happening is that strangers are asking strangers for advice, and they're getting some pretty crazy answers back, and some things that really don't make sense. And some of the suggestions that people are making, hey Greg, are not really ones that I would agree with. But what I also saw is that there's a lot of people in there that are feeling pretty down, and they're feeling pretty helpless, and they're feeling pretty hopeless. And I understand that. And I know that when you've been through the medical model and that has let you down and you haven't gotten well, and when you've spent years of your life trying to get well, and you've spent thousands of dollars trying to get well, and maybe you're worse, or maybe you're not much better, Or maybe you're actually bedridden. I had a conversation today with a woman who's actually completely bedridden. So the point is that people are looking for answers, they're looking for solutions, and they're not getting them. So the purpose of me doing this is to provide some value, to be a sane voice in an insane world, to show people that I'm living proof that you can get well. Hey Tyler, hey Denise, hey Gwen, that it is possible to get well, and it's possible to not just get well, it's possible to thrive. And if I can do it in Manhattan, one of the most polluted and most difficult cities on the planet to be healthy in, if I can actually recover my health in a city like this, you can do it anywhere. And so one of the things that I really wanted to emphasize was that the importance of a strong mind. When you're not feeling well, when you're in pain, when you're sick, and you're feeling pretty low, it can easily feel like you're not going to get better, and that there isn't hope, or that it's only going to worsen. And I just really want to emphasize the importance of making a decision. So I remember, I always use myself as an example because I'm not going to invade anybody's privacy, any of my clients or anybody who's shared anything with me. So I'll use myself as an example. There was one particular day that I was in more pain than usual, and I was feeling worse than usual, and I had received some negative news about my recovery, and it hit me hard. And I went down, I laid in bed, and I cried a little bit, and then I made a decision, and that decision was so strong. And hey Elena, and it was such a powerful decision, and I decided right then and there that was enough, that I was going to get well no matter what. And every time since then that I've struggled, I have remembered that moment that I made the decision, and it moved me forward, it propelled me forward. And that's what is so important, because I think that the mental and emotional struggle when you're not feeling well is actually, it's actually harder than the physical struggle. And of course they're tied together. But I think that if you can win the mental and the emotional struggle, you're definitely going to win the physical struggle, because you, the individual, the person, the being, you are more powerful than your body, and you actually can heal your body, and you can also make decisions to go to the right practitioners and to find the right healing modalities. And that's the other point that I wanted to bring up, is to trust yourself. So one of the frustrating things for anybody who's gone to doctor after doctor, and I've been to about 100 doctors, so I definitely know what I'm talking about, is that we tend to have this mindset. And I want to actually backtrack and say that I started my journey with a conventional medical mindset. I actually grew up in a family that had conventional medical belief system, and so we did everything that the doctors told us to do, and we trusted them, and we had no reason not to. So I didn't grow up in an alternative or holistic health mindset. I actually developed that as a result of what I experienced firsthand. So the other thing that I experienced firsthand is the importance of trusting yourself, because we tend to put medical doctors and authorities on a pedestal, and we tend to think that they know better than we know, and we think that because of their credentials and because of who they are, that they must have the solutions, and they must have the answers, and they must know more than we do. And I just really want to emphasize that I've learned the hard way that that's not the case. I mean, yes, they have education that we don't have. That's true. Hold on, I want to really not get hit by this car. Okay, good. it is true that they have different education than we have, and they have more education than we have. But I want to emphasize that you've got to choose your healthcare professionals by their results, not by their credentials. So I am not impressed by what school a doctor has gone to. I'm not impressed by the credentials that he has on his wall. I'm not impressed by how fancy his waiting room is. Having gone to, like I said, 100 medical doctors, holistic practitioners, and everything in between, what impresses me are the results. So I care about a person's statistics. So what are their statistics? What are their actual results? That's what I look for when I go to see a practitioner. And I have now an incredible team of practitioners, and I'm more than happy to share their names with you. And one of the things that you can do is go to a website, and I think a great starting point for anyone, or actually it doesn't even have to be a starting point, just a wonderful thing that you can do that's going to help you in your health quest, is find a nutrition response testing practitioner. A lot of chiropractors, a lot of acupuncturists, a lot of nutritionists, a lot of nurses, a lot of massage therapists are nutrition response testing practitioners. I'm a nutrition response testing practitioner, and I've done that for 16 years. And you can go to this website, UNSINC.info. So that stands for ULAN Nutritional Systems Inc.info. And at the bottom of their homepage, there's a button that says Find a Clinician. And anybody who is listed there is what's called a master level clinician, which means that they've gone through all the training that ULAN Nutritional Systems provides, and it's extensive. It takes years to get through their training. So anybody who is on that list, I trust. And so that's a really great place to start. And hi, Vicki. So that was a point that I wanted to bring up. 1 second. I'm actually out of breath. And another thing, hey Katrina, that I wanted to say is, do what it takes. It's very important not to identify with your diagnoses. Those labels, those diagnoses, they're literally just a title that's given to a list of symptoms. And also, what's very important to understand about a diagnosis is that it's an opinion. It's not like you've got that label and then that's who you are. That's not the case. You are you. And you have a body that has a list of symptoms, and those symptoms fit into a category that gets a label called a diagnosis. So it's really important not to identify with that. I mean, it's helpful as far as finding out how to solve it. That's very helpful. It's helpful so that you're not in mystery. That's why those labels are important. But one of the most important things is not to become a victim of your symptoms and not to become a victim of feeling ill, especially when you're chronically ill, because that's a surefire method to not get well. Because like I mentioned earlier, that strong mind and that decision to get well and stay well is so, so, so important. Oh, I found some good light. Denise would be happy. Okay. And one of the other things that I wanted to mention, I mention this to my clients all the time, is that a body takes time to heal. You've got to be patient with it. It heals in gradients. So, since I had my teeth extracted, it's been about 6 months. And I'm not going to pretend that I haven't been frustrated. But it's been an up and down process, but that up and down process has been on an upward angle, and that trajectory is what's important. You want to make sure that the trend is going in the right direction, and understand that sometimes it'll take months, and sometimes now the comments are coming in. Yes, I am in your hood. Hey, Vonnie. Okay, so that trajectory is so important, because as you go up and down, as long as that trajectory is going in the right direction, you are healing. And it takes 3 to 4 months for a red blood cell to for its lifespan. So that means you've got one healing cycle every 3 to 4 months. So in a year, you have about 3 or 4 healing cycles. So be kind to yourself and be patient with the healing process, and trust yourself that you can get well and you can stay well, and do whatever it takes. That's my other point, is do whatever it takes. I was willing to go bankrupt. I don't even want to tell you how much money I have spent to recover my health. But that day I told you that I made that decision, I meant whatever it took. So I flew to Florida every few weeks. I spent weeks there at a time. I purchased all the equipment that I needed to purchase. Hey, Monica, oh my God, it's so good to see you. I purchased all the equipment that I needed to purchase. I literally have like a medical spa in my home. I spend as many hours each day as is necessary to take care of myself. And many of you may say, yeah, well, she's lucky. She has luxury. Dude, it was like I either did this or I gave up. And I know that I've got various audiences. One audience is you're healthy, and you don't really have anything serious going on, but you are interested, and you like to learn about health, and you want to know everything that you can do to be healthier. And then I've got another audience, which is you're starting to have symptoms, and even though it's not very serious, it's going in the wrong direction, and you're wanting to take care of yourself now so that you don't have to deal with serious health issues in the future. And then I have a third audience. And the third audience, you guys tell me not to get hit by a car. The third audience is actually the chronically ill. They're the people with Lyme's disease. They're the people who have very serious health concerns and health issues, and they're not really getting much help, and they're looking for answers. So, that was the group I was in. So that's why I purchased my own equipment. That's why I went to Florida. That's why I sought out the best physicians in the world as far as I'm concerned. And I just want to basically use that point and go back to the beginning where I said I was prompted to do this live because of the conversations that I was seeing on social media and the negative talk and people asking perfect strangers for advice and the very, very bad advice that those strangers are giving. Seek out the right practitioners. Use your gut, trust yourself, and do whatever it takes. And make that decision to get well and stay well. And, find people who have statistics, who actually have proven themselves to be able to help people get well and stay well. And go see them, because it is possible. I'm living proof. I'm literally living proof as I walk down the streets of Manhattan, which 6 months ago I couldn't walk a single block. And I think at this point, I don't know how many miles I've walked, but I think I just walked about 50 blocks and barely even felt it. And it's actually really enjoyable. Okay, so that's where I'm going to end off. Tell me what topics you're interested in. That would be really helpful, because I want to know what you want to learn about, and I want to know what topics would interest you. And also, the Stinky Face contest is going on right now, and we had a tie between my uncle and one of my friends, and it's still a tie. So each time we get the votes to come in, it winds up being a tie. So please go to my Facebook page, and actually all of my social media is the same. And since I just started, it'd be so awesome if you guys followed me. YouTube, Tara Lambert Kalajian, and Instagram, Tara Lambert Kalajian, and Facebook, you guys are there, Tara Lambert Kalajian. But scroll down my page, it's not far at all. But the Stinky Face contest between Uncle Bill and Erica is going strong, and there isn't a winner, and we have to pick a winner. So please go in there and vote. Okay, I actually just made it home, and I'm really hungry, so I'm going to go inside and there's my apartment. I'm going to go inside. So thank you all for keeping me company as I've been walking around Manhattan. I hope that this was helpful, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.